Hello, and this is Jamil Hankins with JCNI News. Kanye West recently released a new device called the STEM Player, which basically could customize any song. So say you had a song you wanted to take out the drums in a certain spot, you could do it, or the vocals. Hell, have the instrumental. I find it kind of funny because it's just, well, there's a couple of things about it. I felt like nobody really wanted this, but he created the reason to make it by him not mixing his album, and everyone's like, where's the album, where's the album, where's the album? I'm mixing it. We never finished mixing it. Where's the album? This is almost like he's like, all right, well, I'll tell you what, since I can't finish it, why don't you finish it with this? A flesh-colored egg with space lights. I wanted to talk about also, it's made of silicone, and if you look on the side, there's actually a little speaker on there, I believe. Silicone, little speaker, flesh colored, shaped like an egg. Sounds slightly familiar. Maybe you put the bass on repeat. Speaker, silicone egg. You get what I'm saying, right? Multitasking. You can play your favorite song. Possibly get it on.
Oh yeah.
That's for the ladies. I don't know if they, yeah. You know, who makes a silicone music player? Really think about that. Flesh colored. If I made mine, it'd be like jet black, but not silicone. That's different. But the man's a genius. Definitely a genius. Speaking of Yeezy's album, the last show was at Soldier Field, where he built his childhood home and put a cross on top and proceeded to catch on fire, with Marilyn Manson and the baby on the porch. One of the few times you would feel safe with leaving a baby with Marilyn Manson. And maybe Kim Kardashian, or wasn't Kim Kardashian, came out at the end in a wedding dress post-divorce. Is this like a anniversary? I'll say this though, if I was the guy who went to the first show, remember the first show in the red outfit where it was just him in a skating rink? It almost looks like it's like him in like a roller rink, and he walked around in a circle for like 2 hours in a red mask in a red Gap bubble coat, which sold 7 million. If I bought the tickets to that show, and then the second show he wore a black bathrobe and spun around with like 30 people on like a gymnasium floor with a blow-up bed and a weight set, I would be mad about that show. But then this Soldier Field show with a whole built a house, I mean, I would feel like I got cheated at the red coat show. So I just want to say to the red coat ticket buyers, I feel your pain. Hold your head. That's like $500 possibly. And if you bought merch, definitely for you, because that's like a stack, strong stack. Am I ranting? I don't know. Sports. A survey done has concluded that the Sixers fans are the most stressed fans in the universe. Let's just put it there. Yeah, at a whopping 29%. All of them feel uneasy when games are being watched. Shout out to Brianna Cash. Immediately. Shout out to the Ben Simmons jump shot, which you may or may not see this year. Yeah. Shout out to all the new Sixers fans. I believe that 29% should be more like 50%, truthfully. But that's a whole nother story. Shout out to Jeff Rubin. And shout out to Drew Holiday. Guess where he came from? You thought that was a Buck shout out, didn't you? Nope. Sixer shout out. That's called the process. Don't tell nobody. That's a lot of stress. And can I make a prediction for you? Possibly. Did we watch Maxey get traded at the All-Star game? Before the All-Star break? That's stressful. That's the Sixer stress. All we do is trade the damn talent. Speaking of Sixers, ex-Sixer Noel, that's no wins. He's a Knick. What do you want from me? Nerlens Noel is suing his ex-agent, Rich Paul from Clutch Sports. Seems that Nerlens feels that Mr. Paul of Clutch messed up his deal, and he's suing because he lost possibly $58 million. This reminds me of another athlete, guy by the name of Wiz Khalifa. I'm sorry, Ricky Schroeder. Wrong again. It's the blonde hair. Dennis Schroeder, who the Lakers offered $80 million. He said, no, I need $125 million. He proceeded to go to the Celtics for $5.9 million. They kept $100,000 just because. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. That has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but yeah. Go Sixers. If you noticed recently on the internet, America has been recruiting very heavily for the Space Force. So for those looking for a new job, would you like to be a Guardian? Not a Cleveland Guardian, that's baseball, but a American Guardian, a Space Force Guardian. Semper Supra. You know, if you'd like a job, you can go to Wawa or you can go to space. See the world, but like from out there and look down. See, like the Navy take you like around the world, but the Space Force take you out of this world, at the world, and clean up space trash, possibly. I don't know what else they're gonna do with that, but I've signed up. In city news, the Philadelphia International Airport will be the second city to receive Afghan evacuees into the country. We would like to welcome them with a cheesesteak. Cheesesteak? I would like to recommend a good place for them to eat, the Bodega. I feel like the Wawa chicken finger hoagie is the way to go. It tastes like America. A lot of bread, a lot of chicken, and freedom fries. Possibly a turkey burger. Halal. I recommend the halal pork chop. They should go to Citizens Park and go see a game. Because America, that's America's game. So make sure you give our Afghan brothers and sisters a big Philadelphia welcome. When you come to Philadelphia, I just want you to do one thing. Steer clear of Kensington and Allegheny. There are things there you do not want to see.
How we doing today, folks? Welcome to episode 25 of Just Conversations, No Interviews. We have the great TXC in here from Carver Records. We're going to start introducing. They're going to each introduce themselves, and from there we're going to have a conversation.
I'm Zay. I'm a singer and songwriter.
I'm Caleb. I'm a producer and songwriter.
I'm Kid Phantom, audio engineer, musician, and songwriter.
I'm MCE. I'm a rapper and songwriter.
Okay. And today we have the great
Talaya X Muse here today, supporting and co-hosting with these young gentlemen here. I want to shine a light on them a little bit and let y'all know what they're about and what they came here to do.
Okay. So I'll take it back to how I first stumbled upon you guys. A guy I do a lot of read the Inquirer, read all types of articles, I read everything you can imagine. And I stumbled across, I seen that the school district were working with some young people. And through that, they started a record label, I want to say. Is that correct? And I seen your picture and another young lady. And I read the story and I found it quite interesting. So I actually put it up in our news bits that starts out. Whenever this episode plays, we have news bits saying what's going on in the city and in the world. And because of that, it led me to actually, the people who run social media for us, actually tagging you guys in the post. You guys appreciated the tag, and from now we're here. Tell me, how did this start, this record label start?
So back in like February, there was this guy's name is Frank Makos. He's the head of director for the creative division for the school district.
Okay.
And him and this guy named Andy Hurwitz, he runs 30 Amp Circuit, and he has a long track record in the music industry, and they wanted to create a whole school district-wide music label. So from there, they needed a school to start with, and he had met these two guys, Andy and Myron from We Work Entertainment, which is a local Philly label, and they're alumni of ENS, and they said, let's start with ENS. And from there, they got in contact with the principal, the teachers, and they got a recommendation from our music teacher to choose me to lead the project, because they knew I produced, and I was really serious about music. So from there, we had our first interest meeting with about like 20 people. And from there, we gave everybody jobs based on what people could do, whether they were an artist, a marketer, or they were just good at like creating cover arts or whatever. Okay. And we just broke into teams. We would have meetings once a week, and we would just check on everyone and make sure everyone is doing their part to keep the label up and running. And we eventually got our first single drop in June, which we dropped "Never Change," featuring these three talented artists. And we had our second drop last week with a song called "Stay" with the artist Anaya Shemaya and MCE. He was on that song as well. So yeah, our final full EP dropped September 3rd. So we've just been getting ready for that drop as well. With one more single is dropping in August as well with these three. But it's been a long road, and I'm really proud that we could do it in that short amount of time.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. I was thinking, so pretty much from start to finish, from beginning of the project to now, it started February.
Yes.
And then you're going to be able to drop your first EP September 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh, what a testament, right? Yeah, that's a good testament to all of you. You know, hard work and dedication. You know, I do have a question. What made you finally decide to commit to the project? So even though you were recommended, what made you say like, all right, I'm going to do this?
I think I saw it as an opportunity to get experience within the music business, because I'm a producer, but like my goal is to be more behind the scenes and be like more of a label executive and have my own distribution company one day. So I felt like this was like my first steps into kind of just learning the ins and outs of what the music business is. And like even when I first started, Devon from We Work, and he kind of just broke down what a label is and what it does and what are the components, and that just from there it just helped me learn the basics and kind of lead on this project. And then I had support from, he was the first person I talked to about it, and I was like, could you like help out? And I knew at first I was like, yeah, but yeah, from there it turned into like a great experience.
What is music to you? What does music make you feel like? What do you want to achieve through music?
Music feels like everything to me. Music it gives me a feeling like you can express yourself like no other. Whenever you're sad, you can put it in a song. Whenever you're happy, you can put it in a song. What I want to do with this music, the main thing I always want to do with music was to make others feel what I feel. So like if I feel a certain way, or I want to express that I felt this type of way before, I want to put out or make people feel like it's okay to feel this way, or you're not alone whenever you're feeling like this. So
Yeah, I think that's dope.
What about you?
I feel like music is life and music is therapy to me. Like, I used to go to a therapist and didn't feel like it was working for me. When I started music, it felt like I was able to let all my emotions out, and people were hitting me back saying that they felt the same way. It was easier to connect with people through the music, and I just fell in love with it.
And my main man, what is music to you?
MCE.
Music for me, like, not to piggyback on what he said, but music is life for me. It changed everything for me, because for one, when I started off, when I was like 13, just writing stuff down. And when I was like 6 or 7, I wrote some rap. My mom saw it. She was like, what are you doing? Like, she was literally like, throw this out. You better than your homework. So I'm like, wow, okay. So that's done. So I'm trying to do something else. And then I started playing basketball and football, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, I love playing basketball, but I ain't have like a passion for it to like just keep playing. So
it's more of a hobby.
Yeah.
Than a life dream.
So then one day I I was sitting with my brother, and he was like, bro, why don't we try music? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, I can't rap. Why would I try music? And he pointed out like people who like aren't, I don't want to say aren't talented, but like people who can't, like it's not really much effort, you know, like they saying the same thing like over and over.
Yeah, they're not really like a lyricist.
Yeah, and he like, why can't we do it? So then from there I started, but this time, even though I wasn't feeling it at first, I didn't stop. Like I kept trying. All right, I'm done with this joint. I'm gonna start with another song. When I'm done that one, I'm gonna start another song, and then just kept going on from there. And then when I started telling people that I made music, they like, you make music? Because they like, it's kind of like your impression when I came in. Like I'm the quiet type. I don't do nothing. It's like,
if I didn't see you on stage Saturday, like even when I'm hearing you talking, like I didn't, for one, I listened to what you were saying on stage, and I didn't think it was mumble jumble rap. I mean, it was a little grit to it. So I was like, oh, my man up there tripping. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I heard a little grit, so I was like, oh, I said, oh, this guy got a story to tell. I couldn't catch all the lyrics, only heard it, that day when I was there. I was just like, oh, that's a little something different there. So
that's what kind of make me like work harder at my craft, because it's like I don't ever go around, like when I first started, I wasn't going around just telling everybody, yo, I'm a rapper. I just started music because like they already gonna have like an opinion on me before they even hear what I gotta say. They like, oh, he another rapper from Philly, like he gonna have this type of sound, he gonna be talking about this and that. It's not gonna be nothing crazy. So then as I come out and I like perform a song in front of everybody, and they like, oh, he can rap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of my like advantage, I would say.
Then that's me. I get you. And one more. When I saw you, because I was walking up, nice stage performance. You was like dancing, singing, moving around. I was like, yo, what's that little man going off right there? Like it surprised me. Like I said, it was surprising when I walked up. Like if I had time to stay and watch all three of y'all perform, I would have. But it was very surprising. I was like, okay, I always learned in music that if you want to be successful, it doesn't matter if it's one person there or 1,000 people there. You put 1,000% into it every time you're on that stage, because you don't never know who's watching, who can change your life. So you never be like, oh, it's only 4 people out there. I ain't performing. I ain't gonna give them my all. I'm gonna wait before I get, So I figured I estimate all you guys are all like that, because if the 2 people I saw do that, I'm quite sure you would be the same way. Birds of a feather, you usually fly together.
Yeah.
So that's good. At least you guys, you understand the stage, you understand the work that goes into it. But that's the art side. It's more from the neck up, and it's more business than anything.
Yeah, definitely. So I missed it. So what happened on Saturday?
So what are we doing out here today? I've been performing. I just did my solo. He just did his.
They killed their performance?
Yeah. Kid up at 3, and then together at 4. So.
What made y'all put this together?
So recently we started the record label Carver Records, and we partnered with 30 Ant, and they had this event, so they asked us to come have our artists perform, and from there.
So we had it was something hosted by Andrew Hurwitz from 30 Amp Circuit. They had like a small music festival in Leon Sullivan, like in the yards of their building.
Okay.
They had different vendors out, and we were a part of. He asked us to be a part of the showcase. So we had our own tent, our own stage, and we recorded songs from these artists as well as songs that we recorded for Carver Records.
Okay.
So it was just a good opportunity to get our exposure out, and also we have merchandise as well. So it was a good opportunity to sell our merch and just to get our label out there.
So overall, just thinking back to that event, and how do you feel like post that event? Was that your first time performing your music from the EP?
From the EP, yes.
Yeah.
From the EP, yeah.
So how did you feel about it?
It it wasn't a lot of people there, but it had like a lot of impact, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have some takeaways from that?
Yeah, a lot of people was like, what's your Instagram? How can we book you for the next one? And it was like a lot of people seem to enjoy it.
Okay. So just Carver Records, Carver Sounds wise, are you planning more of these like showcases just from your own stance, or planning or to do something for your upcoming release?
We definitely we don't really have any more showcases right now on our books. Definitely in the fall when school starts back up, we'll probably have more. But we had one thing we're planning for our release is like a short film. So in August we're starting to film music videos for each of the songs, and that would be something that we have as another component for the release of the EP.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Okay. So here goes a question. And this is a question that I pose to a lot of young artists. You guys go to magnet school, so you know by that being a magnet school, you know at some point in your life, education is paramount. It's paramount in your life. Either you guys are mentally gifted. Listen, I couldn't get into school like Carver, so let's just keep it right there.
I did.
Yeah, she might have got in. I got like stud below there, so I couldn't get in the top schools where I got in the middle schools. So like you guys are. So you may be mentally gifted. Some of y'all moms might have got y'all, you know, dads might have argued and paid the principal. I don't know how you got in there. I'm thinking you guys are smart though. So what I'm saying is that you guys have these brains. Like, is it like music or nothing? Or is it like music is one of the many talents that I have? Because sometimes I see people that have a lot of talent, but if they go into music and it's like, I'm either gonna be this big rapper or I ain't doing nothing. And unfortunately, I've probably seen about 5 people in my 40 years of living who really made it through that brick wall. And even the 5 that I seen make it through the brick wall, again, I tell you, this business is from the neck up. Most of them didn't have their business correct. So even if I see them make it through that wall, they came right back on through the other side of the wall. So what I'm saying is that, like, is it music or nothing? Or is it that you have like, okay, I'm doing this plus music, and if this doesn't work, I still got this. You know, some people say plan B, some people say I'll make plan B, and some people say I got plan A through Z. So how do you look at it as far as music?
I'm definitely multi-talented. My mom wouldn't even let me be music or nothing, even if I wanted to be. So
Shout out
to mom.
Definitely at the business side of things. Business before everything. So whenever I take the time, I look at like different artists and you know how they started, and not to make the same mistakes they started, because I know a lot of artists get into like contractual issues with labels and stuff. Definitely don't want to get into that, but just having multiple sources of income too, because I know music is, you know, not going to be enough. Looking into trading, getting into I want to get into acting eventually, just different things to help express myself as well. I don't want to go into any field and just be like, you know, this is just for the money, but I also want it to be fun for me. Yeah. I'm not music or nothing. I'm multi-talented for sure. So.
Okay. You?
I definitely feel like, the whole reason I'm going to college is to learn the business side of the music business, and I realized there are lots of different jobs within the music business that you can do, other than just being an artist or producer. So first and foremost, that's like my main objective. But I believe in financial freedom, and I believe in you know, not having to stress when you're making music over money issues. So that's why I do other things such as investments, trading, starting in real estate. So that's why I do those things to kind of back the music up. So once I'm in the music business, I had cash flow coming in as I'm making my connections and building my way up to where I want to be within the music business.
To piggyback off what he said, basically, I'm not music or nothing either. I'm looking into the business side of things. That's why I decided to open up my own home studio, record with the artists.
Okay.
Also been trading along with him.
Okay.
And looking into other things such as real estate, all of that. But being music or nothing isn't really my road. It's not where I'm trying to go. It's smarter to have multiple streams of income and to not rely on just one thing, because that most of the time that leads to your downfall.
Dead end.
Me, honestly, it's like a little bit of both.
Good shit.
Like a part of me, it is like music or nothing, because I don't think I'll ever be happy doing anything else but music. But I do know I gotta have multiple sources of income.
You know it.
Yeah, I know
But
it.
for you, it's like this music been burning to me.
Yeah.
Like you be making 6 figures a year and be like, fuck that. I need to hit the stage.
Right.
I
So
got you.
like just like all them, I may start getting into trading. My mom's gonna start getting me into her real estate thing. She should be done by like the end of summer. And something else. I forget what it was. It was some
bullshit.
Yeah, some other business plan.
She really ain't got it. Yeah, I do it just so you can leave me alone, but
Yeah, she just be throwing shit out there. But the real estate thing that is serious.
Okay, so you got something for me?
Oh yeah.
I can go all day.
Yeah, I know you can. I know you can. I'm just sitting here piggybacking off the vibes. Okay, so just we talked a little bit about the artistry, and I did hear all of you say songwriter as well, and so that was something that I was really happy to hear, because that's also another way to make money behind the scenes. So just starting off, have you written any songs for other people yet?
I have, because I'm a singer.
Okay.
Mainly just I love it. That's something I'm strengthening my skills in. But when I'm making beats, when I'm producing, I already have like the finished version in my head. So it kind of comes easy. Because I already hear the melody, I just need the words to fit it. So that's why I kind of started songwriting. Because like a lot of producers, like Pharrell, he sends tracks with the hook already attached to the beat.
Do the
So
whole song sometimes.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's just, that helps the artist. Whatever helps the artist, get your idea out, that's like what I'm down for. So that's kind of why I do songwriting.
Okay. My next question is just in terms of like Carver Records. I know you said that the initial initiative was to kind of make a school district-wide record label. And so pretty much TXC is like one of your first clients on that label, or how would you leave it?
Somewhat, yeah. Because we have a roster of artists, but they were definitely the first to know about it.
Okay.
The first to.
So you do have a roster of artists.
Yeah.
So just going to the EP, how many tracks are on the EP?
There are 5 tracks.
5 tracks.
And overall artists, there are about 5.
5. Okay. And all from Carver, or just
Yes.
from? Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. Okay. So I just really wanted to also just speak to the fact that when I heard you speak in terms of how everything came about, the resources that you feel or the supports you feel that were in place to help y'all to get from point A to point B. So I did hear you talk about being able to speak with somebody from WeWork and 30 AM.
30 amp circuit.
30 amp circuit. And so just thinking about that, like how much did their influence have a play into, the start and the finishing of the process?
Yeah, they were like my mentors, like throughout this whole thing. Like Devon and Myron, they manage DJs around the city. That's what WeWorking does. They manage DJs and artists. And them just already having the blueprint, that helped me in so many aspects of like what the label would need in terms of marketing, merchandise, distribution, artists, producers. And then just from Andrew Hurwitz, he's a former music industry lawyer, and he has like a long track record with starting labels at the colleges and teaching the music business at the colleges. So just having him talk to me about just talking to me about things that may go on in the industry, introducing me to new people such as Jason from I don't know if you heard of Symphonic Distribution. Mm-hmm. He's a head A&R for that company. He's a former A&R for Republic Records. Just meeting him, that was another great opportunity that I've gotten out of these individuals that have kind of guided me. So yeah, definitely. Then our teachers, Christina Puntel and Kit Bradley, they've definitely been a help because they were the ones that kind of referred me to them. So they've just been a big support for me.
Are they your teachers? Are they the music teachers or just?
No, so the music teacher, he was one of the people that referred me, but they were Miss Bradley and Miss Puntel. They were actually the ones that helped with the label. So they were, I think, she teaches multiple classes, like Spanish, English, and they both teach around like English area. But yeah, they were.
Yeah, so overall, you would say like mentorship from people actually in the field doing the work.
Yeah, that was crucial.
Yeah, it was crucial. Yeah, that's what's like. That's a big need for the youth in general, though.
Yes.
So just what would you say are some resources you need moving forward? So I know that you have the EP dropping soon. And just any other plans in connection with that? Are there any other relationships, any other resources, any other community leaders or things that you would need to help you with that process?
I would say definitely we've reached out to some community leaders, but that would be a big help going forward, just to like have people that's influential in the Philly area just help promote our stuff. That would be great. Another thing that we're working on is radio play. So I know we've sent in some DJ packs with our music, so that's another thing we're working on. So any connections with radio, just to get our music out more. So I mean, cool.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, cool. I might be able to help with that.
Cool.
Yeah. What else?
Can I steal it back, man?
Go ahead. You good? I'm just going.
Yeah. Nah.
You know, you ready? Hop on it.
So Philadelphia, grew up in here. I'm gonna go this way. Start with my man Easy E. I like Easy E.
Oh my God.
MC. Nah, I know MC. You got the Easy E aura, man. You know, you just remind me of Easy E, man. I just hear you saying something so just foul. I'll be like, wow. But anyway, you from Philadelphia. Top 3 artists of Philadelphia, or top 3 songs that you heard from artists from Philadelphia. Come on, brother. They can all be you if you want.
Oh man.
That's the kicker.
They could be mainstream
I don't care. It's what you like. It's whatever you like. It could be somebody nobody ever heard of. It's the internet now. Whatever you say, somebody gonna go and see. Like, oh, whoa, let me check that song out.
I say 3 people from Philly right now that
In your lifetime, you've been old, 18, 16 years in this world, right? You've been hearing music since you was 8. You got you got caught rapping at 8, so you've been listening for a while. So
I would say right now, number 1 for me is Core.
okay.
I was going to say Neat, but he not dropping. I don't know what the fuck he's doing right now. So I'm not really fucking with him right now. So
You got 2 more to go.
I say Core. Do they got me from Philly or just?
I mean, if you want to do, I mean, I'm just saying Philly because like the thing about it, you're in this city. At some point, you're going to be like in this underground world. Even if you think you ain't going to be in it, the more successful you become, even if you say, well, what I do is different, what everybody else do, so I ain't got to deal with nobody. It don't work like that.
You're gonna come in contact.
The more successful you get, it starts to go like this. And even if you think you wasn't going to have to deal with it, you're going to want to deal with it. But that's neither here or there. Like, I mean, if you don't listen to nobody from Philly, that's fine.
Because I was just asking, because it's like, for me, when how I rap, it's not just Philly that shaped me. So that's why I was asking.
Give me some more.
So, Core. I listen to a lot of Biggie too, because yeah.
That's why you had the joint right here, like we got. I see you had the joint.
Somebody right now I listen to is Davies.
Davies?
That's the bro.
So champ, it's on you now.
Honestly, like right now, and like forever, I really haven't listened to any Philly artists like that. Like I hear it, like my friends have been playing it and stuff like that. But I usually listen to like people outside of the city, like for example, Chris Brown, The Weeknd, Drake. You know, their sound, how versatile they are, and the way they're able to change it up.
You never heard of a versatile artist?
Like
No,
they
You might not
They could be
have.
versatile, but they just not.
They're not doing it for you.
Yeah.
So for you,
Don't really catch my
Their
head.
genre, I think they
so for you,
genre.
it's Drake, Chris Brown.
The Weeknd, yeah.
That's your joint.
Yeah.
Right over what? Who your 3 CEOs? I mean, cause you might
Three
have
CEOs.
I could just see publishing missing right now. You got publishing missing all over you, man. Did y'all check the birth certificates on them songs? Hey, no, I'm joking, man. Go ahead, man. I'm joking.
CEOs are artists.
You do either one. That's what
I like Philadelphia. Like in terms of Philly, Gamble and Huff, Philadelphia International Sound.
that's CEOs. That's major.
But like their whole catalog, it's just inspirational.
It's just so they got a hell of a bankroll from my hell of a bankroll. A couple years ago.
Second, we going artist and Jill Scott.
Okay.
And then from there, I would say like currently the most versatile artist from Philly and hip hop at least is I think Uzi, because it's like he followed a whole different way than a lot of current Philly artists right now.
That's it.
Yeah, unless you want me to do exactly.
No. I mean, I take Gamble and Huff as your executive. I mean, y'all probably heard the story of Gamble and Huff that deep. Maybe y'all do.
Not that deep, but
I mean, you probably heard the songs they made, but what you probably don't know is that you heard the Tower Records, FYE, places like that. Y'all kind of.
FYE.
That's that. It used to be like CD stores that was kind of like Macy's and Strawberries, all around the country. Well, what happened back in maybe the 80s, Gamble and Huff decided they were going to go independent and they wasn't messing with none of the record labels. So what happened was the record labels got together and they made Tower Records, FYE, places like Sam Goody. They got together and made those places to push Gamble and Huff out because they were going to be so independent. They weren't going to need the record companies. Every 20 years you'll have somebody so bright and so smart when they come into this business, they'll try to push out the big people. And what happens to the big people is they'll figure out a way with their money and they'll buy up everything and freeze you out. So
Universal and Sony.
Live Nation, which is pretty much Live Nation owns all the arenas.
Right.
So if you can't be but so independent. If you try to get too cute, you won't perform in the arenas. Well, the arenas is how you make your money. So it's it's just something that you should know in this business. Right. So there you go.
To piggyback off him, I don't really listen to a lot of Philly artists. I listen to a lot of outside people. He just put me on the Dominic Fike. I listen to Dominic Fike, The Weeknd, and I also listen to a lot of like Michael Jackson too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I felt Michael Jackson vibes when he was up there.
Yeah.
Definitely, he was going for it. I felt it. You had everything but the glove on me. I saw you. You was kicking it though. No, you really was. You was going in. So I felt that. So we're gonna start this way and go back that way. Quite sure y'all, even if y'all don't watch the news, y'all hear about all the murder rate and everything in Philadelphia. You hear that all the time, right?
Yeah.
You guys went to a school in that area that's gentrified, but used to be a real saucy area. When
I lived there.
Yeah, when I was growing up, that was a high intense area. Matter of fact, the way people talk about pills and syrup and all that, Jefferson Street was the pill capital of probably the East Coast at one point. So there's a lot of action down there. Going through this, living in this city, and your honest opinion, do you feel as though this is a dangerous city, or do you feel as though that sometimes the things are being blown out of proportion? I just want your honest answer. No answer is a wrong answer because I'm just asking for your opinion.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about this city?
I definitely do feel like it's a dangerous city. Like yesterday, we lost somebody that we went to middle school with to gun violence. And it happens so often that like you become like sort of like not numb to it, but it's just like it's a normal thing. I don't think that's normal. But there is definitely a lot of violence going on in the city, and it's just because like there's a lot of hate. People are jealous of one another. People, it's all different kinds of reasons. But I do think it's a dangerous city. I don't think that it's going out of proportion.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like just cause of like the whole, like my mom has a Citizens Act. You know what that is?
Oh, I definitely know what it is.
Yeah, and it's like the things that you hear on there, and it's like the things that go on every second of the day. It's just like crazy.
Got a machete down the street.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like consistent. like like your parents, like you get tired of hearing like saying like, oh no, you can't go here, you can't go there. But it's like now it's like it starts to sink in that you see people die from this stuff, and then just like hearing about it on the news and through the every day, it's just like you start being like real cautious yourself and just
Yeah, I think it's a dangerous city. Back when I was younger, I was like more like nonchalant and like not paying attention to what was going on around me and stuff. Not really thinking that it was that dangerous. But when I was 14, my brother had got shot and he had died, and that like woke me up to it. And like from there, I just learned how to like be more safe, be more aware of who I be around. Had to like cut some people off.
Yeah.
Because I see that they're getting into trouble. A lot of my friends getting locked up and stuff like that.
Come on, baby, you got the do-rag on. Come with it.
Yeah, I do feel like it's a dangerous city. But I don't, like, kind of to piggyback off him, like, I was kind of nonchalant with it, like, whatever, like, I can go here and there, like, and it's like, whatever, like, I'm safe, I'm cool, but it ain't, I don't think it hit me till, I'm gonna say I was in like 8th grade. And this kid, y'all remember that kid named Tahir? Yeah, he went to the high school. Yeah, when I saw that he had got killed like over a ball game, that's when it started to like sink in. And then even like going on from there, when I was in 9th grade, going to the same school he went, like I was carrying a knife on me because I heard people getting jumped and stuff.
I even got jumped on the way to school. Like,
Sorry,
that was 10th grade.
Yeah, that was 10th grade.
Yeah. Even being all the way up there where we at, like thinking that it's all nice and all that, but people were still watching it. And
Talking about coming out of y'all school?
I was on my way.
He was on his way to school, and
I came a little late. I was by myself. I had peeped that they was gonna follow me from the jump, so it was just what it
got to
is.
it.
Yeah.
So, y'all say that, right? And I'm not here to tell you, what you thinking is wrong or anything like that. I just want you to look at it another way, right? Your family members in real estate that's teaching you something, right? So, how fast do houses sell in Philadelphia right now?
Takes about like a couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks. Right now, just to give you some insight on houses in Philadelphia, right now you're paying 50% over the asking price for some houses right now. That area y'all were living in, the area that y'all went to school in, those houses, when I first got in real estate in 2000, which is not that long, 20 years ago, those houses all around it was $10,000 houses. All the houses near your school are $300,000 houses. See, sometimes people will tell you what you got is worthless. You can treat it like it's worthless. They gentrify your mind and have you thinking you gotta leave this place. What you have of value, get rid of because it's no good. Because everything around here is fucked up, which is what's pumped in. Yeah, you see some bad shit, but they'll tell you that. So you'll give away your wealth at a fraction of a dollar because you didn't realize that this whole time there was being a push for certain neighborhoods, certain areas. If you ask any older people, they can go back 20 years who moved out of those areas that's down where you guys' school is at. That Temple came in and bought all up. You can ask those people now who moved either to out near the airport or out the Northeast. If you ask them now, did you make the right decision? I'm quite sure they will tell you, I wish I would have held on to that property. So just be careful of narratives that you allow for people to put on property that you think's their own. I don't know if your family is, I don't know if your mothers and fathers are real estate owners, but just remember what you allow for the people to put into your head. Sometimes I can tell you it's bad, but then if it's bad, how 20 years later, this place has dog parks, this place has the professors, this place has all the things that certain people didn't put the investment in when my people was around, but now there's another people around, and that investment is amazing. The construction around your guys' school did not look like that 30 years ago.
I lived on 19th Street.
So I'm just telling you, things are not peachy creamy, but sometimes they let things get out of hand so they can devalue it, buy it at a cheap price, and then resell it back to everybody else at a multiple of 3. So always remember that, you know, sometimes things are bad on surface, but is it always bad as they really make it? Meaning that you guys in here, how many people graduated in your class? Give me a rough estimate.
It's like 70.
70 people. So you kind of probably know all 70 people, right? All right. Give or take. Let's just say you know. Let's say you know 35.
Yeah. Tiny community.
Yeah. You know 35, right? Do you know 35 dead people that you grew up with? The 35 people that you knew grew up with died? No, exactly. So sometimes watch the words that you allow people to use to describe things, because they'll tell you this is the worst place ever. But you know, if you look at what's going on in some third world countries, the people outside every day shopping, they're really getting it in. They're really getting it in. So I'm not gonna say Philadelphia is super safe. No, I would be lying. But I think the violence is hyperbole. You know, they make it fucked up. Have us all leave, and then all of a sudden it's great. And if you think I'm lying, check out what happened in Chicago. Because Philadelphia is next. They just put out a report that Philadelphia is worse than Chicago. You go look at Chicago real estate. Look at the investment that's being made in Chicago. So you got to remember, sometimes the person that's putting out the news is related to the cousin that's going to come down here and buy up the whole block. He don't want to buy it at the same price that what he want to sell it for. Devalue, make everybody think it's worth nothing, and then come on, buy it for cheap, build it back up because you have relations with the banks, and resell it to whoever can afford it.
That's facts.
So just remember the games that the media play. You know, it's kind of a deep lesson for you. Probably wouldn't understand everything that's being said to you, but a guy told me this when I was about 15 years old, standing on Broad and South. Broad and South used to have projects right there at Fitzwater, and he had a house on 50th and Cater, Mr. Allen. He was a school teacher. And he said, it's so beautiful down here. I said, man, we got to walk through the ghetto to get down here. He's like, yeah, but I don't live in the ghetto. I said, you live across the street from the ghetto. He said, the ghetto in the mind. And I was young, I was 15. I said, man, you tripping, Mr. Allen. I ain't trying to be down here. This is crazy. You know what I mean? I just want to work. I want to get out of here. And Mr. Allen said, man, I come out my house and I can stand on Broad Street to see City Hall. He said, that's expensive. I just didn't understand what he was saying at the time. So when real estate blew, and this is 1995, by 2000 they blew up the projects. And then the investment, the South Street that you see now, that is not the South Street from 1995. It's the same area, different investment. So never let nobody tell you what something's worth. You already know what it's worth, so don't let them undersell it.
That's
So,
so true.
you know, that's my old man wisdom for the day.
Old man wisdom for the day. That's not just old man wisdom. That's real talk. I did want to just kind of return to just the safety aspect of things, just on the artistry side. Like, so as you continue to grow, develop your craft, go up, make it big, start getting all this cheddar, how are you planning to stay safe? Because we just now talked about some things that occurred in your life when we're not at this stature, you know, just our regular normal selves, and we're encountering things, different acts of violence. So how are you planning to stay safe as this project, as what you're working on continues to grow and develop? Are you gonna get some bodyguards? Like, what are we thinking about? I know you talked a bit about choosing your relationships appropriately. So
I think it's relationships. That's a heavy thing because you don't want to get dragged down with people that's not the same wavelength as you. I think another thing is just being smart with social media, like not posting like what you have, or not posting when you just where your location, when you just get something that's
no
like
location.
No location.
Exactly.
No addy dropping.
Exactly. It's just like just being smart with that. It starts there. I mean, like, yeah, of course, like once you get bigger, of course you can get like security and stuff. But I think it starts with like just who you surround yourself with, and then what you're posting and what you're telling people as well.
Yeah.
And how you respond to people too.
Right.
Yeah, that's
You can
true.
de-escalate certain situations.
Have you had to cut off any friends or anything in connection with what you're doing currently? Did you lose some friends along the way? I'm talking between February up until now. Did you have to kick some people to the curb?
Low key, I feel like I don't talk to as many people as I did before.
Yeah.
I don't.
They leaving.
It's not even that many people to cut off. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Circle was already small.
I hear a lot.
Yeah,
I hear a lot.
I mainly talk to these guys.
Yeah, so but I do hear a lot. Like when I'm walking like around my street and stuff like that. When I see somebody that I used to know, they'd be like, you don't come around no more. This, that, and third. But it's like I gotta be safe. I gotta stay safe myself.
That's
like I know what they're getting into and all of that. I know that's not my lane. I got a different route.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yes, I think the biggest thing, for me too, is just understanding where you're trying to go and who can come along. And not everybody can come along. So understanding what that looks like from A to B, and when you can imagine it, when you can envision yourself where you want to be, looking at the people in your life and understanding whether or not they match that narrative. And it hasn't been easy, so it won't be easy. You'll actually start to have to cut off even more people, family included. But just understanding that that's coming and make a plan for it, Anything else for you?
I'm never done.
He's never done.
I got people that when I told them I was interviewing you guys, some people send me questions. Some of them you guys already answered, but the person they asked me, what genre do you consider your music as? What do you consider, what category would you put your music in? Sorry, what you name it? Come on.
Every time they ask this question, I say we're always changing it. We're like in our music, we can't stick to one genre. We combine them. So like me and Kid, we used to do a lot of R&B, and now we're switching over to alternative and deep house and
trying new stuff.
Yeah, I heard deep house.
Yeah, deep house, and we're doing a lot of experimentation, and we're trying to we do combine it with his rapping style, and
just kind of trying to bridge that gap. Just try new sounds, try new
beats,
our flows, flows.
So pretty much not being contained or limited to one genre, just kind of going off the vibes and the flows of whatever is actually happening at that moment.
Yeah,
I got you.
Okay, I got them to answer. Come on, baby.
Come on with it. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. I'm trying to, now that I've been writing for a couple of years now, I want to expand my sound to different genres. So I don't want to stay in one. Like when I first started, if you had showed me the beat for Never Change, like we're going to get that shit out of here. It was just
your street cred.
it was just strictly rap at that time.
Coming back.
And then once I was like 15, 16, I started writing about different stuff, looking at different beats and figuring out like, oh yeah, I can tap in on this drum too and make it sound just as fire as my rap stuff. And then I started hopping on beats that they get on, like coming up with different flows I can use since I can't sing like them, so I gotta
add your own lips, add your own sauce.
Yeah.
Okay. So, independent, or would you rather be signed?
That was my question.
Right now, independent.
Independent?
Right now, independent, yeah.
It's going to be independent. Yeah. There's reasons, but independent.
So give me a reason. What's the reason?
Like, I feel like right now is a time where independent artists can excel with the right resources and the right fan base. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But I feel like if you got the right backing, the right team with you, not having a big label sometimes, you can still succeed and progress in the music.
Independent. Yeah. Hands down.
At least for right now, yeah, independent. Who knows? It might change.
It might change.
It might. I don't know.
So what are some things that you are currently doing just on an independent level for yourselves to just kind of, get your fan base up, to get your, music out there? Are there any, I would guess say platforms that have helped you the most? What do you think?
Instagram is definitely a big push with promotion. There's also this app called Lum too. Yeah, you can put your music on there, and there's like a lot of different communities that can listen to your songs, and they can like it, and they can leave a comment and respond to you. And just like we try to go to as many performances as possible, like open mics and showcases and all that, so we can network with a lot of artists. Yeah,
I think Instagram is
the biggest one.
Definitely. With YouTube, I think YouTube as well.
They say TikTok is like the biggest growing
I
app.
don't be on TikTok.
I feel like TikTok is like
it's y'all genre, y'all age, man. that stuff you was doing started been great TikTok, man. I wish I had my camera. I would have TikTok you, man.
Like TikTok is easy. Like I feel like it's easy for somebody, like a random person, to just blow up. From there.
So why would we want to see artists to blow up? You're independent. I'm just saying because when you're independent, believe it or not, there's no such thing as a stone you're not going to overturn. Every
trying
stone.
different.
Yeah, it shouldn't be what you're not doing as far as music.
Sometimes I see it as like when I see like very talented artists, and from my standards, most of the time they don't even get the recognition they deserve. And sometimes it'll just be like a regular type of song in my eyes, and it's like real simple. It blow up and they take off. But TikTok is really weird to me. Like
I think TikTok is good, but
I think I should play with it. I mean,
I think the marketing team plans on making TikTok for the label.
Yeah, maybe
that's one of our marketing outlets. But I get what he's saying though. But at the same time, I do think is marketing.
Yeah. I mean, I say you gotta understand, Chipotle just hired people right now. They took random people to hire to make their TikTok pop. About 6 other companies are hiring people right now. Hey, look, we gotta get this TikTok popping. So, you guys can be the vessel for something like that. You got a company. Your company can make this song. That song got to represent you. You know who wrote "I'm Loving It" for McDonald's? Pusha T. And then after that, what else he write? Come on. Where's the beef? he wrote Arby's jingle. You know what I mean? So what? Arby's. He wrote the Arby's jingle. So what I'm saying is, don't put yourself. Again, it's business. But in this business, you can wear more hats. You can have a production company that puts out different songs, jingles, and stuff like that. Don't think that being a profitable artist is commercial. Being a profitable artist is feeding your family. And then the things that you really stand by and that you do, that's really something to you, that you put your face on, those will be the things that represent you. But sometimes, sometimes your most shittiest thought can get you out of the situation you're in. A lot of people, some of their hit records, they wanted to throw them away. It was somebody else in the room like, no, keep that. Because sometimes as artists, you're too critical on yourself. So you need a guy sometimes like him who doesn't have the emotional attachment of you. And he's like, no, this gonna go. And if y'all have the trust with him because he's made some good decisions, sometimes it works, but sometimes it don't. So I'm not gonna tell you first time to say it's gonna work, it's gonna work. But as y'all in this together, y'all share each other's pain, y'all share each other's progress. See, with being independent, and I'm saying this from experience, so just to let you know, I've been behind the scenes in music. I have not hit one out the park yet, and this is 20 years in. I was about this close to really knocking it really out the park, and just didn't go right. So what I'm telling you is that, this music thing, are you really prepared to imagine the biggest amount of money you ever had in your life? And you guys are young, so I don't know what your money was like. Are you willing to risk your life savings, everything you put up? Do you believe in your music that much? I'm shaking your head, but I ain't feeling it, pimps. I ain't feeling it, man. Are you really willing to put it all on the line? Are you willing to say, this is me? I know this is it. Along with the other things that you're going to do to keep yourself afloat. But could you imagine? Okay, y'all in the stock, right?
Right.
Y'all bust a lick one day in the stock. Y'all get 20,000. Are you willing to take that 20,000 off that stock market and put it into that and put it right into the music and lose the 20? Because it may not work. It just I lost 20.
For me, it's a little different for me because my overall goal isn't necessarily to be like the biggest producer ever. Is to be more so like the creator of be more of a partner with the artist, so through distribution. And I feel like just having that and putting all that into that is more of an investment. It's not really like a loss.
Okay.
So I feel like definitely
it's definitely not a loss. It's definitely because you leave a footprint.
right.
But some people consider it a loss, especially if this is your first time you ever touch this type of money.
Right.
So, some people, you guys said you don't want to be signed. But some people think that once they get signed, then I made it, and it's not that.
Right.
Once you get signed, now you got to work 10 times harder than you worked before you got signed.
Yeah.
So, like the same way you get up and go to school, same way you get up and go to work after school. Them 12-hour days. Yeah, that should be, for your art. If you're really serious about being an artist, if you can do it when you have no return on it, then you are a real artist. If you only want to do it when it's good, then you're a hobby artist. I don't know which one none of y'all are. You guys are all seem to be real artists, but just know it's going to be some pain.
And then just to add to that, it's all about investment in yourself. Just a little slew about myself. I'm also an artist. I do music. I've worked with artists. I currently do, artist development, project management, and things like that as well. And one thing I noticed when working with artists is about in 2018 is that we started off with 20 people and we ended with 4. Me being one of the 4. And one thing we learned is that a lot of people didn't want to invest in themselves. And so just talking about it, what does that investment look like? It's not always money. For us starting out with no money handed down to us and without a lot of resources, that the biggest investment you can make in yourself is time. And so just sitting with you and speaking with you, just thinking to yourselves, how much time and how much of my day am I investing back into myself? You know what I mean? So one thing, like I heard you say, virtual learning last year afforded you the opportunity to start looking into other things because you were able to make more use of your time during the day rather than being stuck in the school building, not able to do different things. So, just while we're on that subject of investment into self, like what are some of those other things you're doing as an artist, on a daily basis to continue to work on and perfect your craft? Like, are you writing every day? Like, what are some different things that you're doing time-wise, to continue to grow and develop, Artist.
Time is definitely the biggest investment because I write a lot. I write basically every day. And sometimes it goes somewhere and sometimes it doesn't. And I think that trial and error is good because you know how to work forward and move forward with it. And just a lot of research and just putting yourself out there and willing to fail a lot, because a lot of the stuff I've done in the past when music didn't really work, and I took it as a lesson to move forward, and now I feel like I'm on the right path, or I'm moving towards the right path to be more successful than I am.
Yeah, that's key. Yeah, definitely learning from the downfalls or things that don't necessarily turn out the way you may have perceived it initially.
Alright, my day consists of mainly as an inspiring person behind the scenes. I'm just a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading of books on the music business, books on just right now I'm reading Think and Grow Rich. It's a book on just investments and just your mindset.
Okay.
Becoming wealthy. But just a lot of reading, a lot of researching when it comes down to just things in the music industry, such as art, such as the blockchain in the music industry right now. I just read an article about Hipco Music that's written by L.A. Reid. They just partnered with this Sweden music group, and they're starting this thing where fans can actually pay artists with crypto. So that's another thing that I've been doing. But just like a lot of research, a lot of on the production side, just making beats.
Okay.
And a lot of just like overall, just kind of running this label is kind of like just, you know, my practice.
Yeah, in real time,
Right.
you know, so that's what's up.
I think the way I invest in myself as an artist and just as for myself, having a vocal coach, going to see her, working with her on being the best artist I can be, researching on audio engineering, because I always think there's ways to advance music and how to mix it and how to make it sound the way you want it to sound. There's lots of different sounds out there, lots of different audio engineers out there. There's a lot of people I want to learn from down the road, and I think I'm in a good spot, but there's ways to push that and ways to go further. And yeah, reading and researching, looking at articles and stuff like that, reaching out to other audio engineers, and reaching out to Caleb as well, sending things back and forth, and trying new things with the music is definitely a way of spending time and progressing throughout each day. Just trying to at least get 1% better each day, trying to grow.
Come on, baby, come on.
What I do to invest in myself, well, like he said, I try to write every day, and if I'm not writing, I'm always looking at like different beats, trying to come up with a melody or a hook or something. Because sometimes I could write a whole song in a day, and then other times I won't finish the song for like a month or so because I would just get stuck. But I'm willing to. It don't matter. Like I'm willing to invest the time in it to finish the song, and as long as I'm getting better, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
And before, like my equipment got messed up, I was trying to like mix my own songs, but now I'm just saving up to get better equipment.
Okay. Alright. Well, we about to wrap this up. Before we go, I see some of you guys investing. Give me your top 3 stocks.
Right now, I'm heavy in the space, like whole space.
Like Virgin Galactic.
Yeah.
So
Virgin Galactic
now 60.
OGI.
Okay.
That's marijuana.
And then Jay-Z, you can marijuana. Is that Jay-Z marijuana?
That's not his marijuana. He has
something. He does have one. He had one that's on the stock exchange.
Right. I forget the name of it. And then one of my favorite, one stock that like I have that like that's dividend based. It's Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys?
So right now, I'm not really into the stocks. I'm more so into trading.
Okay.
So like right now, I'm trading things like gold and silver,
Okay.
and like
So you like
indices.
Forex? You like in Forex?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm into that, and trading like indices.
Okay.
And I trade one stock. It's Chevrolet.
Okay.
Yeah. But other than that,
And you too. So that's fine. That's good.
I ain't learning.
Listen, I didn't buy my first stock until I was about 35 years old.
Yeah. And I've been kind of like I have those stocks, but I've been kind of focusing more on real estate, and like I'm trying to like one of my main goals in real estate is wholesaling, so I can fund it.
You can
fund like trading and stocks.
Yeah,
no, trading with a little bit of money is like it's good for practice, but
exactly though. But it's just like they say with basketball players. Michael Jordan practiced the winning shot thousands of times. So when he had to shoot the real shot, it was easy. Same thing with stocks, same thing with real estate, same thing with music. Anything you want to do, the more you practice at it, the more you try, the more you actually put your own sweat equity, whether that's money, time, whatever it is. When you put that in, you become so confident that like coming up here and talk to anybody about what you're doing will be so easy, effortlessly, because all you're doing is telling the truth.
right.
You know, a guy told me one time the only people that's nervous are people that's not prepared. But once you come in and you're talking and you see like, oh, he only asked me about the stuff that I've done, how hard is that? You know? So I want to thank y'all for coming out and giving me the time, and thank you for being respectful.
Thank you.
So it's a
Yeah,
pleasure meeting you.
nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
I like the JD by the way.
Oh, of course, you know, I gotta stay trippy, you feel me? As a part of the brand, you know?
All right, folks, we want to thank you for tuning in with us, for listening to these young men tell their life story. Hopefully we can see them again another 10 years. Hopefully one of these guys can hire me or something.
Yeah.
But we want
Cut
to
check.
thank y'all for coming out and sitting with us and having an intelligent conversation. Thank you very much for
Yes,
your time.
indeed.
We hope to see you again on our next episode. Just conversations, no interviews.
No interviews.
And just remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.